Apple just confirmed the one thing nobody wanted to hear. The iPhone 18 Pro Max is coming, and it's going to cost more. How much more? That's the question every review you'll find right now is dancing around. I'm not going to dance around it. This is everything we know about the iPhone 18 Pro Max, the chip, the camera, the price situation, and the one upgrade that actually changes the way you'll use this phone every single day. We'll get to that upgrade, but first, let's talk about what Apple's doing to your wallet. The iPhone 18 Pro Max hasn't been announced yet. Apple does that in September. But here's the thing, we actually know a lot. Leaks from supply chains, analyst notes, and Bloomberg's Mark Gurman have painted a pretty clear picture at this point. And honestly, some of it is genuinely exciting, some of it is genuinely annoying, and one part of it, around the price, is a conversation that I think most people are framing completely wrong. Let me show you why. Let's start with the brain of this thing, the A20 Pro chip. It's built on TSMC's 2nm process, Apple's first 2nm mobile chip ever. Now, every year, Apple says the new chip is faster and more efficient. Every single year. And every year people go, yeah, okay, but 2nm is actually different. The current A19 chip is built on a 3nm process, and 2nm is a long-awaited step down in node size. The smaller the node, the more transistors you pack in. More transistors means more processing power, using less energy. The chips are expected to feature performance and efficiency improvements, leading to increased battery life without compromising on speed. So you get a faster phone that lasts longer. That's not marketing copy, that's physics. And there's something else about this chip that almost nobody is covering. The chip may integrate RAM directly onto the same wafer as the CPU, GPU, and neural engine, a packaging approach that improves speed and lowers power draw simultaneously. That's not a small thing. That's the reason why Apple Intelligence, Siri AI, real-time photo processing, all of it, is going to feel completely different on this phone compared to anything before it. Which brings me to Siri. iOS 27 brings the new context-aware Siri, now called Siri AI. It's finally catching up to Gemini and ChatGPT, able to process natural language, interact with your apps on your behalf, and even see what's on your screen. I know we've heard Siri is better now every year for a decade, but the combination of the A20 Pro chip and Siri AI running on device is genuinely a different situation. We'll see. Okay, the camera. This is the upgrade I was talking about in the hook. And it's the thing that most people are going to underestimate. At least one of the iPhone 18 Pro models is set to gain a variable aperture lens for the main camera. A variable aperture would let iPhone users manually adjust how much light gets to the sensor, cutting down on overexposure and providing new customization options for lighting and depth of field. Every smartphone camera right now has a fixed aperture. Your phone decides how much light comes in. You don't. Variable aperture changes that. Think about it like sunglasses for your camera. When it's bright outside, narrow the aperture, less light, sharper image. When it's dark, open it up. More light, cleaner shot. You control it manually on a phone. Industry insiders say optical lens companies, Sunny Optical and Luxshare ICT, are now making actuators for the variable aperture camera on the Pro and Pro Max. That's not a rumor anymore. That's supply chain confirmation. And on top of that, the front-facing camera is expected to feature a 24 megapixel sensor. The full rear camera system is expected to be a triple 48 megapixel setup. Is this the camera that finally makes you question whether you need a mirrorless? Probably not, but for the first time on a phone, you have real aperture control. That's not nothing. Design-wise, let's be honest, it looks like an iPhone. It's always going to look like an iPhone. There won't be much in the way of design updates, but the dynamic island will be noticeably smaller, with Face ID components moving partially under the display, not full under display Face ID. That's iPhone 19 territory. but smaller, cleaner, more screen. The iPhone 18 Pro Max could be slightly thicker, measuring in at 8.8 millimeters, up from 8.75 millimeters, 0.05 millimeters thicker. I genuinely cannot describe how little that matters. What does matter is the color story. Apple introduces three striking new color options: blue, cherry, and black. Multiple rumors have confirmed a deep red finish, dark cherry, as the special color Apple is choosing for 2020 bigs. And honestly, that's the move. Display still 6.9 inches, but reports suggest a massive jump in brightness from the current 1600 nits HGBOR, with a new peak expected significantly higher. If that holds, you'll never squint at your phone in sunlight again. Real quick, because this one actually matters, and it gets almost zero coverage. Complementing the A20 Pro chip is Apple's custom C2 modem, which replaces Qualcomm's chips entirely. This modem enhances battery efficiency and introduces satellite connectivity, allowing basic communication in remote areas where traditional networks are unavailable. Apple replacing Qualcomm's modem entirely. The shift to Apple's in-house C2 modem should deliver better network stability, stronger signals, faster speeds, and reduced battery drain on 5G. Better battery, better signal. No more relying on Qualcomm. That's a bigger deal for your day-to-day experience than almost any other spec on this sheet. You know those moments when you're in a building and your phone has 3 bars but can't load anything? That's the modem's fault. The C2 is built to fix that. Okay? The part everyone came for. Apple CEO Tim Cook has already warned that price increases are unavoidable, adding fuel to speculation that the iPhone 18 Pro Max could see noticeable jumps in starting prices. Rising component costs, especially in advanced memory and storage chips driven by AI demand, are being cited as the main reason. So, how much? Current estimates put the iPhone 18 Pro Max starting price somewhere between $1,400 and $1,500, depending on configuration. That's a significant jump. And I think people are framing this wrong. Here's the thing. Nobody's buying this phone at full price. Trade-ins, upgrade programs, carrier deals, the actual out-of-pocket number most people pay looks nothing like the sticker. What actually matters is whether the upgrade is worth it. And that depends entirely on what you're upgrading from. For users coming from iPhone 16 Pro Max or newer, the upgrade is modest. For anyone on an iPhone 14 Pro Max or older, the cumulative improvements in camera, battery, and chip performance make it a compelling and significant upgrade. That's the honest answer. So, iPhone 18 Pro Max, variable aperture camera, 2nm A20 Pro chip, smaller dynamic island, Apple's own C2 modem, and a higher price. Here's my take before this thing is even announced. If you're on an iPhone 15 Pro Max or older, this is a legitimate upgrade. The camera alone changes how you shoot. The chip changes how AI feels on the device. The modem changes how reliable your phone is in real life. If you're on a 16 or 17 Pro Max, skip it. Seriously, there is no upgrade here worth that price jump if you just bought one. And the price situation, it's annoying, but it's also predictable. Apple's staggered launch strategy lets them focus attention on the highest-end devices during the holiday shopping season, and they're not releasing a cheaper iPhone 18 until spring 2027. So if you want a new iPhone this fall, every new iPhone introduced in September 2026 starts at $999 or more. That's the game. Now, the one thing I'll be watching the closest when this officially launches, that variable aperture camera in real-world low light. Because if it performs the way the leaks suggest, that changes the entire camera phone conversation, and I'll test it the same day it's available. One question before you go: given the price hike, Are you upgrading this year or waiting for the iPhone 19? Let me know below because I genuinely want to know how many people Tim Cook just lost.